And it's Tuesday night. That must mean it's time for the Mass Comedian X-Cast. I'm Mass Comedian X.
Hello, I'm Ace. What's up?
Oh my gosh, my friend. What a week of wrestling, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a great weekend.
I started off on Saturday watching Takeover. And
that's the one thing I have not watched yet. I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done with this. I'm watching it.
You know, that was a great show. And then on Sunday, you and I made our appearance at the first one, Blood, Sweat, and Beers 2 at the Bauhaus Brew Labs in Minneapolis. Holy cow, was that fun. And then, of course, had to come home and watch on a delayed basis SummerSlam. And Monday night was a pretty good Raw, I would say. Of course, there was one huge thing that made me just squeal like a little girl again. And then tonight, SmackDown was okay. SmackDown seems to be getting a little bit more dramatic in my mind. But anyway, so let's start out. Where do you want to start? You got any ideas?
Let's start with the week's shows as far as WWE. So we might as well get into. You could say whatever you want about NXT Takeover. Again, I have not seen it. I'm gonna. That's a guy. Again, I'm watching it right after we get done doing this. I finally have time to do it. So that's the only thing I haven't seen. So we could. If you have anything to say about it, go for it.
I'll just say, of course, as everyone thought, match of the show was Cole and Gargano. I mean, it was just fantastic. Of course, it went to 2 out of 3 with William Regal coming up with the third stipulation on the final and tie-breaking match. And it was in a cage with barbed wire across the top and utensils.
and like a fucking spork.
Yeah. Oh God, everything, man. They had a fire extinguisher, sledgehammer, kendo sticks, ladder. Good God. I mean, they had everything. Chairs up against the wall. So the real cool part about it was they were going quite a while with the first round. And out of the blue, Gargano just like, hell with it. He cracks Cole with a chair to disqualify himself because the first one is a singles match. And he shakes it. I mean, it's beautiful. He shakes his head, gives a shrug, and then continues to beat the hell out of Cole because the next one is what was it? No holds barred. I don't know, DQ. It was the way they did it was just beautiful. The other matches, see, what happens to me on a week like this, so much stuff happens because I don't take notes, I'm just like, shit, I don't remember, Undisputed Era versus the Street Profits was great. I recall, but I don't remember a damn thing about it, but I remember at the time I was loving it. So how's that for me being a suck ass?
Well, I know the Street Profits one just because I've seen that they had the titles on.
Yeah.
On SummerSlam.
But it was a great match.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna check it out. SummerSlam though. Might as well get into it. If anybody's watching and you have any thoughts, let us know on SummerSlam. But it wasn't like awesome, but it wasn't awful. It was just a show. It was an all right show. Yeah. There were some cool moments. There were some really, really low moments. You know what I mean?
So I like the fact that they started with Becky and Natty simply because I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, and I like that they didn't just be like, okay, hometown girl wins. I mean, they never do, but
yeah.
Because I know a lot of people were like, oh, I think Becky's gonna actually drop it now. I think they're gonna take it off her, and it's just like, why? would you think that with Natalya? Like, there's no way she's selling the merchandise like Becky Lynch is. There's
Oh God,
no way they would make that decision.
no.
No offense to Natty, but
And the thing about it is, it was a weird audience for that match, I think, because it seemed like it was about 50-50 as far as who the audience was rooting for. Because I think a lot of people wanted Natty to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think just because she was in Canada. I honestly, I mean, I know a ton of people love Becky, but I also kind of get the feeling that there are a lot of people who are kind of like, she's not the same one that got her nose busted. You know, she's like more arrogant, and I don't know if that's the way a supposed babyface champion should be, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. But then what happens on Monday Night Raw
Absolutely.
Definitely makes up for whatever is going to happen with Becky. So,
well, because, but at the time on Sunday, you certainly don't know that.
Right, exactly. That's why it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but then they just blew that out of the water the next night, and it's like, okay, now I know what they're going to do. And that's something I'd like to see too.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good first match.
And to be honest with you, I don't know about you. When I got home, I was watching and I was paying attention and I was enjoying most of it. But at a certain point, I kind of started getting tired. And it had nothing to do with the show. It had to do with the fact that I was up in Minneapolis at outside watching a fantastic show, having a great time, drinking some beers. And I got home and I was just like, what am I doing? I literally, Seth and Brock, I literally had to go back to the beginning 3 times because I was falling asleep. And it had, again, nothing to do with a match. Everything to do with me being an old, can't do shit anymore kind of guy, you know?
Well, don't feel bad because we had that hour and a half drive home and then still watched SummerSlam. And my friends that were with us, we went to their house and my buddy's girlfriend went to bed like within 2 matches left. He stayed up, but like during that final match, he was passing out. I like as soon as they rang the bell, I was like out. I was fighting it.
Dude.
It was a long day, you know, and it was. You don't realize how exhausting it is standing around at a wrestling show all day when they don't have seating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most shows I go to have seats, so it's like you don't have to do that. But this was a different setting, which don't get me wrong, it was awesome, beautiful venue, just a perfect spot for it.
And we'll talk about that a little bit after we get done with all this other business. Because that was honestly. And I think I was thinking about this. Maybe what we ought to start doing is pop of the week, and because that whole show, that whole atmosphere at First One is in my top 2 pops for the whole week. But there were so many individual little ones there. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. SummerSlam that I like. Oh my gosh, yes. And it's just so much stuff that I've literally forgotten a lot of it. The only thing I didn't like about the Brock Seth match was that when Seth came down selling those broken ribs or whatever, it's like, okay, I thought Brock did a great job. I thought Seth did a great job. The only thing I would have liked to see at the end, maybe Seth should have kept selling the broken ribs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I won the championship and now I'm cured.
Yeah.
My ribs have healed. And it's just, it's for me, it's just little tiny things that I'm like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then here's the other thing. The count out between Orton and Kofi which, by the way, I was totally unsatisfied by that. Double count out. No thanks. It's great. I mean, but okay. So they counted him out. And then Seth and Brock are out on the floor for like 2 minutes.
Right.
But yet they're not even counting.
Right.
I mean, it's like, how can I look at that and then say, okay, these rules are even. I mean, I love KO beating the tar out of Shane. I like that angle. I mean, KO's killing it. And then I'll carry it over to tonight. Man, I don't need to see Shane anymore. I don't need to see him anymore. I don't know how much more they want to get KO over, but I think they got to do it with somebody other than Shane at some point. Don't you?
I agree, but I don't know who. I don't want to see it be McIntyre. I don't want to see it be Elias, Lashley. Like, I just don't know who that can make it, because he's got such this Austin vibe going that to keep riding that, it's got to be a pretty good person he's working against.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know who on that SmackDown roster could fill that role for him, but I did enjoy that match, though. It was a great match. I mean, just Kevin Owens is just a machine, man. I mean, even tonight with Samoa Joe, it was.
Oh God,
that was good stuff.
And he's so good at becoming emotional.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, I really believe he's pissed.
Right.
I mean, he is so good, and of course, it doesn't hurt that he's good in the ring too. So, but anyway, so can you think of anything else? I mean, I'm just such a whirlwind of stuff from from SummerSlam.
Well, I mean, the big thing for me on the SummerSlam show was probably the lowest point of that show, and that was the Goldberg Dolph Ziggler match. Just a total squash match that they did for Ziggler, and then not just squash match, but then just proceeded to shit on him.
Yeah.
In a way that it's like, how are you going to use him going forward without just him being the guy that got just decimated by Goldberg? And then on top of that, again, it was 2 fucking moves. That's all he did for 5 minutes.
That's all he did his whole career.
Again. It's so just like, why is this guy an attraction? Why was he ever big in W? I didn't get it then. I still don't get it now. It's so dumb that this guy is a legend. Like, no, he's not. He couldn't hold the boots to half of the guys in the Hall of Fame.
I think, from my recollection, when Goldberg started, he had a look. He kind of looked like Stone Cold at the time. And he was a total outsider compared to everybody else that was working WCW. It was almost like he had this little sideshow where he'd come out, squash somebody, and then go away, and then the rest of the crap that was going on would go on. And I can't remember when they started making a big deal out of this undefeated streak, but it occurs to me that it almost seemed like somebody said, "Hey, do you know he's undefeated?" Right, and then all of a sudden they picked up on it. But yeah, I mean, I remember the one time that he tried to do a move other than his 2, and he pretty much put Bret Hart out of wrestling.
It's ridiculous. And then again, it's just, you got to feel bad for Ziggler because he is such a great worker. I mean, this guy can make anybody look good in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's the absolute reason why he was with Goldberg.
Well, and that's true, but it's also just he's done so much that it's like, this isn't what he should be doing. There's
I agree.
Pick someone from 205 Live. Anybody. Let him get squashed by Goldberg. Nobody gives a crap then.
That's right.
But you're going to squash one of your guys, one of your best in-ring worker guys. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Especially when you could have capitalized on such an amazing thing like him and Michaels.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because in essence, God, that would have been a much better match. Could have gone longer than 3 minutes.
Right?
And I mean, honestly, I'll tell you, I almost wish Ziggler would have beat Goldberg.
Yes.
I mean, only because Goldberg could have looked great. Something goofy could have happened. I don't care. But that would have been so much better for Dolph. Because what happens is they get these legends and they do it every time. The legends always go over on the currents. And I don't understand that. The only time it wasn't even a real match, the only thing in the last, I don't know how long that I can remember, was Foley letting Bray give him the mandible claw. Otherwise, it's always legends go over currents.
Well,
and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it doesn't help. It doesn't help the product.
No, and it's just it's SummerSlam's a big deal. To me, it's still a big deal. I'm a purist, so the big four do matter. You know what I mean to me, and it just sucks to see someone like get a spot on that show, but that's what they have to do when it's someone who should be able to have. Cause let's be honest, you put Dolph Ziggler, the right guy, he can crank out a 5-star match.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, shit. Imagine if him and Omega had a match together.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, he is capable of that, but you're just shortchanging him right now, and it's not cool. So, not for Goldberg, at least. God, I hate that guy. We talked about this on the Briscoe and Big A show, and I didn't know that Wes is friends with him, apparently. And I was like, well, sorry. I didn't mean to, talk bad about your friend, but your friend sucks. So
Guess it won't be on the show. Goldberg crossed off the want list.
Nope.
Anything else you can think about SummerSlam?
We had another legend on that show, and it was her retirement match.
Oh yeah,
I guess you can say a second retirement match. But Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. I wasn't expecting this to be a high caliber match because, let's be honest, Trish has had one match in the last how long?
It was a pretty good match for that, though.
I was pleasantly surprised by how much she was willing to do.
Well, she was willing to do it, and the fact is that Charlotte is so good.
Charlotte's amazing.
That Charlotte's. You were just talking about Dolph making Goldberg look good. Charlotte can do that with any woman. In fact, she could probably do it with a lot of men.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. She's. She's. That's going to be interesting to see what do they do with her now.
Yeah, well, she had a match with Ember Moon tonight. Not to jump ahead, but it was a really good match. Made Ember Moon look good, but Ember Moon is actually better than she gets credit for, at least from participating in the program. But the thing about that Charlotte Trish match, I mean, for a minute I thought they were going to let Trish win.
Yeah,
I mean, I really did.
Right.
I thought, holy cow. But then they didn't, and that's fine.
Well, it's tradition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go out on your back. That's how it's done. So, but it was cool. It was a good match. It was cool to see her do it in her hometown, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was nice. And like I said, Charlotte really, really did a great job with that. So,
overall, what do you give the whole show?
What is our scale? Have we ever come up with an XCast scale?
No, we should probably do that.
I don't think we've done this yet. Are we like one bite in this shit? Like, do we got to get real technical?
No, I'm not gonna. What do you think? What do you think? I'm a fat guy wearing a mask. You think I'm gonna be technical? Yeah, let's see. Let's give it. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 5 masks.
There we go. I like it. SummerSlam will get, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2.5 masks.
Oh, really? I'm more lenient. I would give it a 4.
I think for me, it was just not a lot of memorable stuff.
Well, I mean, obviously, when I was talking to you, I mean, there are matches that I absolutely forgot about, and it's only Tuesday.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, and some of that may have to do because of the show we attended, which we can get more into later. And
yeah.
I mean, that thing was amazing. But I also think too, just it wasn't again, I expect a little bit more. I expect them to take it a little bit more serious and special when it's the 4.
Yeah, the biggest event of the summer.
And it didn't feel like that. It just felt like another pay-per-view.
No.
You know what I mean? So hopefully they don't drop the ball come November for Survivor Series, which should be good because it's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Which I still want to maybe buy tickets to go to. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. I haven't figured it out yet. But I mean, frick, 6-hour drive to finally say I went to a Survivor, because I have been to many WrestleManias. I have been to the 1999 SummerSlam. And my goal in life is to check off the big 4. So all I have left is Survivor Series and the Rumble. And I mean, gosh, 6 hours, 7-hour drive to Chicago.
Yeah.
Might have to do it.
I tell you. So are you, just out of curiosity, are you going to the show on next week, Monday?
What's that?
You're going to the show next week on Monday?
No.
Oh,
First WWE show in quite a while that tickets went on sale, and it was just like,
yeah,
I don't really want to spend the money on it right now. I got other stuff going on, you know. I got a bachelor party this weekend too, so that just made it kind of difficult, because it's like, you know, you gotta have money for that. And then also though, it just wasn't the only thing that kind of made me want to go is because I do enjoy going to the shows at the XL as opposed to Target Center.
Yeah,
because they don't do it a lot, and it's just, to me, a nicer arena.
Yep.
So I do enjoy that, but I just, to be honest, in the back of my mind was like, yeah, but in the next 6 months, AEW might come through town, and I'd rather buy that ticket.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
So
I'm right there with you.
Sorry, WWE, which is amazing because ticket sales have been hurting. I mean, you've seen shows where they're doing a buy one, get one free promotion to sell. You've seen that they're doing like $5 tickets in certain places. They've been canceling just straight SmackDown house shows due to ticket sales. Like, it's not that hot ticket it used to be. And
I was going to say, let's be honest. The show that we went to on Sunday, I think is one of the reasons why.
Well, yeah, and then on top of that, with AEW, it's just like, hey, you know, here's the cold hard truth: is AEW going to really hurt WWE in the beginning? No, but the first couple months, yeah, you're going to see a dip for that first couple months because it's still new.
Right.
Everybody still wants to be in on the action and be in on the first. You know, I mean, that's why why else would a show in Washington D.C. sell out in like 30 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because it's the very first one. If this time next year they go to Washington, D.C., will they sell out? Probably. Will it be in a half hour? No, it'll probably be in like a week.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week with Adam. I think a lot of people are still going to give them a little bit of a pass to see what happens. I mean, surely they're going to have some bumps in the road because they're not really going to be able to practice their show. You know, it's going to be like they probably are practicing, but I mean, they're not really, because everybody's still out doing indie shows.
Right. But I mean, that's awesome too, because it keeps their guys.
Oh yeah.
In season 4 TV.
Absolutely. All right. So let's move to Monday night, where, to be honest with you, only one thing happened Monday night that made me give a damn about the entire show. And there she is right there. My gosh. The boss is back, and it is the Blue Boss.
That's right. Boss Lady.
My gosh, I'll tell you what. And what a way to have her come out when Nettie is talking about her father's first anniversary of his death.
Oh, is that why they're doing that?
Well, she was giving a little speech about how, I know this and that, and you know, today is the first anniversary. A year ago today, I lost my father. Boom, Sasha's music hits. It was beautiful.
I missed that part. I missed the first hour of Raw this week because I was at work.
Oh yeah.
And then when I watch it at work, I got 10 teenage
Knuckleheads.
kids that just won't shut up. So, I don't catch everything. In fact, I remember that I was in the office trying to help this kid with his tool belt for his job because he bought a new tool belt. And like all of a sudden I heard this song hit and I'm like, get out of the office.
Oh my God.
What? And I'm like, get the fuck out of the office, bro. I want to watch this. You know what I mean? But it was, that was the only thing I took out of Monday Night Raw, and it was so great. The only thing is, I wish they would have did it at SummerSlam. I wish when Becky and Natty were hugging in the ring after the match, I wish that's when it came down, and I wish she would have came out and took both of them out.
But I will say that the way that they did it here, to me, worked out better because Becky got to come out for the save.
Yeah.
Whereas if they did it at SummerSlam, it wouldn't have been the same. And I love the way that it worked. But I'm going to play this video. I believe if I can get her going here. And this is a different angle from TV about the chair shots.
How many were there? 6, 7 shots she took?
Oh man, count them. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe
that one hurt.
That's great. I don't know how I feel about the blue hair though, but I
like the blue hair. I mean, the purple looked better on her. But now watch the camera, guys. Those are the guys that were ruining the entire thing for me with their in and out BS.
It is funny watching both of them.
It is, and they're dumb. They're stupid heads. They're the ones that. Oops, Dave, you left. You knocked yourself off the camera. Well, anyway, so Dave will be back with us shortly. He has cleaned himself from the set. Anyway, that was my biggest pop of the entire week. There he is. There he is.
I hit my mouse by accident.
What'd you do? Don't do that. Don't do that. You were pretending to hit with a chair, weren't you?
Well, when I was doing the camera guy thing, when I put my hand down, the mouse was there and it clicked on.
I'll tell you. I mean, this is seriously. You can nitpick about a lot of stuff with it's a good. That particular shot, the in and out. God, that is the worst thing on television.
Yeah, it's nauseating. It makes my head hurt.
It doesn't make me think there's cool action going on.
No.
It makes me think there's garbage going on.
Yeah, when they used to do that for the Shield every time they came out.
Oh God.
It would drive me nuts because I would have trouble keeping up with what was going on in the ring. And it's like, dude, this hurts. Don't do that. Just show them what they're doing. I don't need the camera tricks. I just want to watch the match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God.
But that was one hell of a return, and that's going to be one hell of a feud. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch.
Gosh.
I'm all for it. It's going to be good. They know each other well, friends. So it's like, dude, it's going to be like when, she was feuding with Charlotte and stuff. It's going to be a high caliber storyline here.
Oh my God.
I would like to see it go to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's entirely possible that it could. I don't know what else they can throw in front of either of them, because that was pretty much here we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even not necessarily like the only match at Survivor Series, but I wanted to call them all come together there, have some matches on the next 1 or 2 shows. What's the next one? Clash of Champions is the next one. Whatever. Do one there, but not a clean finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do another one where maybe a double count out or something, and then Survivor Series, we're finally going to get that that one-on-one showdown. We're going to actually get the match, and it's going to be amazing. That's how I would want to see it go down, because I think they can stretch it out that far. So much now we see these Triple H would always he's like, I like a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see it a lot anymore.
No, because to me, it feels like they are so concerned about not dragging anything out too long because people are going to get tired of it, and they don't understand that that's the reason that people watch to begin with, because they want to see, like, I'll say tonight, they left tonight with a cliffhanger again. I don't know if you watched tonight.
I caught the last 40 minutes, but I did catch. So I came in right when Rowan and Brian
were beating the tar out of Buddy Murphy.
Confronted Murphy, and then I did see the very end when Roman goes there. I mean, it's Brian, right?
I gotta think it is.
It's gotta be Brian.
I gotta think it is. I don't know who else they could bring the culprit. Who's the culprit?
And I love the intensity.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Brian's. I mean, he's known for being that underdog and the yes movement and all that stuff, and it was amazing. Great. I was at 30 when it all came to a head, and it was an amazing thing to be there for. But people forget how great of a heel he is.
Oh gosh.
And I'm excited to see this. If this is what they're going to do, this makes me even more interested in Roman Reigns now, because I want to see that.
Well, the beautiful thing is they're matching, in this case, if that's what it's going to be, they're matching Roman Reigns with somebody that he hasn't been with. Because let's be honest, they just keep recycling. And, just like we were talking about, people get tired of it. Well, they get tired of the same match.
Mm-hmm.
If you give a good story and a different story that has logical cliffhangers, and a reason for a reason for people to continue to watch, then it's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's one thing SmackDown has right now on Raw, and I like it. I do like it. It makes you. God, yeah, we talked about it with Adam last week, the Attitude Era, where at the end of the episode, it was always something where it's like, whoa, and now I gotta watch next week because I gotta see what they're gonna do now. And now we're getting that feel again. But man, like I said, I just love that heel Daniel Bryan. I just love, a minute where he just in his face, just yelling it's great.
It was awesome.
It's going to be something special. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
We skipped ahead. I was just going to mention downer for me on Raw was the Skype cheerleading session by Paige as the Kabuki Warriors lost again. I mean, I don't mind that they lost. It was a good match, but it's just God, they're not being used properly. I mean, they're not. It's like
they're gonna get sent back to NXT full time, like Tyler Breeze.
I hate it. I hate it.
They're just not being used how they should be. They don't have anything for them. That's what's going to happen. Paige is going to be out now longer because she has to have that other neck surgery.
Yeah.
They're going to get sent back to NXT. It's going to happen.
I still hate it.
I hate it. It's sad, but, I'm still a huge Bliss and Cross fan, and I'm loving what they're doing. I'm loving I love that she dressed as Buzz Lightyear for SummerSlam, and I love that she even did the whole, laser from his arm.
Yeah.
It's great. That's great stuff. So I love, and I hope they do more with this. But the Street Profits, is it Dawkins, the bigger guy? Heavier.
God, I think so.
Yeah, Angelo Dawkins, I believe. I love how he's all of a sudden now has this thing for Nikki Cross.
Oh yeah.
I want to see that end up being on the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious. And those guys are killing it.
They are, my God, the face, and then I can't, the other guy, the guy with the face.
But it's Angela Dawkins and Montez Ford.
Yeah, Montez, his face is so absolutely expressive that it just makes me laugh anytime those guys do anything.
Oh, their bit with Ric Flair was great.
Oh my God. Absolutely fantastic. But anyway, anything else you can think about with the Raw?
No, I'm interested to hear something about SmackDown though, because I missed the first hour.
Okay. So at the beginning, started off with KO. And he came out and got the crowd riled up. And then Shane comes out and blah, fines him $100,000 for putting his hands on a WWE official.
Elias?
You're gonna be known as a cheat. You have to live with that. I'm like, come on, man. It's bothering me, because it's just, it's one of those little tiny things where he was like, okay, heel management guy who there wasn't going to be authority anymore. If you're going to fine him $100,000 for touching an official, should you not also fine Elias $100,000 for pulling an official out while he's making an account? I mean, it's just the hypocrisy.
It
And I
cancel
get
each other out when they're both referees, though. You didn't know that?
Shut up. It's too much for me. It's too much for my poor brain. And I think
It's
just
TV.
I know it is, but I think just part of it for me is it's like, Shane, God, I mean,
well, I think that's where you're going to see a big difference between AEW and WWE.
yeah.
Is, WWE is known that, it's a title match, so the refs really letting the rules go tonight, really letting them
Letting
outside
them
go
fight
without a count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I think in AEW they're going to hold true to that, but don't they do it? Are they doing a 10 count out or a 20?
I
think they're doing 10.
Well, I'm trying to remember.
But they have a 10 count for the rope break.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
10 count on the ropes. Because I was trying to, I can't recall. I thought they made an announcement at All Out that it was 20 outside and 10 on the ropes, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
And one other thing that we passed by that is really kind of news. They made the announcement that King of the Ring is coming back.
Yeah.
And they have announced the people that are going to be in the tournament. I can't remember who they are, but KO is one of them. I think Lashley's one of them. I don't know if he's. I mean, we haven't seen him. I think he's had surgery or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he got injured.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know who all's involved in it. I'm gonna have to go look. I didn't do any research.
Well, I think you nailed the one name that needs to be talked about for the King of the Ring, and I think that is KO.
Oh, and I think he's gonna win.
I do too. I think they're really, really, again, going Austin-esque with him. And Austin's been around the last few weeks, and his new show just came out. So, what better to do than make him go over like Austin? Also, kind of give him some, respect in doing kind of what he did. So, yeah, I see. And plus, it's just what he's doing right now is just so great. And it'd be a perfect thing for him to be like, you may be the best in the world, but I'm the king.
Yeah. God, I'll tell you. And then I'm trying to think what else happened during that. I don't know. Because I mean, during that whole thing, and then Shane fined him, and then he went back. KO went back and barged into Shane's office, dressing room, and started talking to him. And Shane said, "Go ahead, hit me. I'll find you another." And KO gets up and says, "Well, why don't you just make it 105?" and throws a stool through the TV, which was awesome. And then he walked out. And then, like, when you have something that's that interesting that starts, to be honest with you, I can't remember what was next. Because at that point I'm thinking, I better come over here and start trying to figure out, get some pictures and get some stuff to put up on here while we're doing this. But yeah, the Randy Orton at the end. I love Randy Orton, even though he's been around forever and he's kind of I guess, a head case from everything I've heard. I still love him.
Yeah, he's got a temper. It's all right. Well, yeah, I don't mind them. I just feel like we've seen, and they already showed it. We've seen the him and Kofi feud before, and to be honest, it was better the first time.
Oh yeah, because we hadn't seen it.
Well, we hadn't seen it, but also there really seemed to be like a dislike, and that's when Kofi was really starting to come into his own as like, hey, wait, this guy could maybe become a top star. Like, I think that was kind of maybe his first like real feud where it was like, hey, this one's kind of a test. Let's see where you can do with this. You know what I mean? Because I remember watching him jump off the guardrail onto that production table and being like, whoa, Kofi's getting crazy now. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it was also way better now, because right now all they're doing is, hey, remember that first time?
Yeah.
Remember that first time we wrestled and I beat you? Like, oh, well, you never beat me. All right, dude, how many times do we got to hear this from people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say, I don't know if you got to see the Roman Buddy Murphy match. That was a good match. A really good match. And I mean, it made Buddy Murphy look really good.
Nice.
Which is again, it's what they need. They need to build up some guys so that it's not just the same guys.
It's nice to see that he's and it's nice to see that he's going to get like an actual legit, he got ring time to actually, show what he can do and not just be this like little middle piece in this bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's cool. Yep. Although it was funny watching him get thrown around the locker room.
Oh, dude.
And then the best is just, I lied. And then just Daniel Bryan just, I hate liars. Like, I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, so all right. Well, WWE had a week.
They had it pretty, and I mean, better. I don't know if it was better than last week. Last week was okay, but I mean, all I feel like I want to see is I want to keep watching, and there was enough on both shows this week, along with a pay-per-view, that makes me want to say, yeah, I want to keep watching. I want to, because there was a point where I would say, I'm watching because I feel like I have to.
Yeah. Now
I feel like I'm watching because I want to again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I like the nostalgia look about bringing the King of the Ring back. Little salty because I feel like it does deserve to come back as its own pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, stomping grounds.
Yeah. But whatever. I hope they can run with it like they used to. You know what I mean? Like, I think the last guy that really was a king and like owned it was Wade Barrett. Wasn't he like the last one? King Barrett.
I think so.
Where like it kind of felt like they kind of were like getting tired of whoever wins using that gimmick. But I mean, you had so many people who did it great. You had Harley
did it great.
Macho Man. Booker T was amazing. Austin, obviously, Bret Hart. Bret Hart was always memorable just because it was like, oh, he's the King of the Ring. And then who's the one that comes out? The King. And ends up being like, I'm the real king.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just a lot of cool memories that come from that King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
And how that's one of the biggest things that like kind of made Austin. That was the turning point for him as he became Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. So hopefully it will get its just due. Hopefully it'll be treated like that. And hopefully Kevin Owens will win it and it will do amazing things for him.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be excited to watch it. And I wonder if they're going to do it all in one night or if they're going to stretch it out. I got a feeling they're going to stretch it out.
You think?
Yeah. I got a feeling they'll probably do, if they've got 8 guys they're going to put in to the tournament, I got a feeling they'll probably do 4 matches on Monday. Well, I could be wrong. I don't know. But I got a feeling they're going to stretch it out.
They're going to go 4 hours next week for Raw. Wait. So they're doing this on Raw. And this is the Raw that's at St. Paul.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Now I might have to buy like a $20 ticket just to say I was at the King of Ring.
There you go.
but I can't. I work. Oh well.
Yeah, see, you know how it always works. It always works. You're
That's
right
what
where you need to be.
see, that's what pisses me off. Like, why couldn't we have gotten that? Last time they did a gimmick show here. Instead, we got the stupid Slammies, and it was awful. It was like the last time they did the Slammies, and it was horrible.
As I recall, I remember sitting at the Slammies because you and I were sitting in a together, and it was at that point that there was on my other side there was a father that had brought his son to the show, and we are booing the hell out of Roman Reigns. And I look down, and here's this little kid cheering Roman Reigns, and I'm not booing him because I think he's a bad wrestler. I'm booing him because I don't like how they've written the show. Mm-hmm. And it's at the point that I look at this little kid and see him cheering for Roman Reigns that I say to myself, you big dumb ass, there's a reason you don't like it. They're not writing it for you. They're writing it for this kid.
Right.
And it was at that point, to be honest, I kind of said, yeah, I'm going to just sort of take a little break from this. And it made me, now that I've come back and started paying more attention, now it makes me, I look at it in a different way now, if that makes sense. I try to get the good stuff out of it that I like and realize that I'm not going to like it all because it's not being written for me. I'm not in the demographic anymore. So anyway, after I've said that sort of sad story, let's go to something more fun. Let's go to this weekend, baby. On Sunday, the F1rst Wrestling Blood, Sweat, and Beers 2 show. Sweet mama, that was fun.
Yeah, F1rst Wrestling knows how to throw a show.
Oh my gosh. It's the first one of their shows I've been to. The first one you've been to?
Yeah, definitely my first one I've been to for them. I've been trying to go and it just never works out. This one kind of just was like a couple months ago. I seen that they announced it and I was like, that sounds fun. I'm buying tickets. Screw it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And I'm very, very glad I made that decision. Dude, it was a great time. Even the matches that were on there that were like the local F1rst Wrestling crew.
Yeah.
Were entertaining.
Oh,
you know
God,
what I mean? And then, to have the people that they had there, who was all there? Gangrel, Glacier, Best Friends, Penelope Ford, Jimmy Havoc, Kip Saban.
Secret surprise appearance by Joey Ryan.
Yeah, totally unadvertised. What was her name? The NWA girl that was supposed to be there.
Alyssa something or other. I
believe
can't
she's
remember.
their women's title holder.
Yeah, the women's MWA apparently had some travel issues and wasn't going to be able to get there.
Right, and her match was supposed to be against Penelope Ford,
which would have been great.
Yeah, who's in AEW? Penelope. Penelope. You ever seen that movie? Club Dread from the Broken Lizards?
No.
My darling Penelope. He keeps calling the girl Penelope, and her name's Penelope.
Beautiful.
This is my Penelope. Anyways, so
the God, yeah, there were a lot of really good matches, and as you said, the guys that were local, very, very entertaining. I always think with the mask guys, like the cat that everybody was meowing for. Mm-hmm. The first time I ever saw him, holy cow, that was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I don't know who the guy he was with was, but he had a green mask, so I kind of felt like he was my brother. And but God, and I don't even remember who they were wrestling.
They were involved in that match with the two employees of that brewery we were at.
Oh, that's right.
Apparently,
that's right.
Like there's two employees. One used to work at the brewery. One works at the brewery. The one who works there was cutting the heel promo on the guy who used to work there, and then had his two buddies out there. Then dude came out, and then they
that's right.
So
that's right. And that was entertaining.
Oh my God, the hammer spot.
Oh yeah,
was
it was beautiful,
amazing. He had a giant Thor hammer.
Thor's hammer.
the
and it
Frogger
cleared
guy.
the ring.
Yeah, and he slams it on the ring, and it's like an echo boom, and they all just go in the air and down. It was amazing. I wish I had that on video.
It was fantastic.
That was amazing. Again, Penelope Ford ends up going against a surprise challenger, Joey Ryan.
Hold on here, because I got to show now my favorite match of the entire show, and they had a halftime, which was awesome because it let me get my breath. But was this beautiful match right here between Jimmy Havoc and Eric Cannon, and holy cow! I mean, they went inside the brewery. Here's Eric stapling a $50 bill to the nether regions of Jimmy Havoc, and God, that whole sequence was fun. I enjoyed the living crap out of it.
Oh, it was a great match.
And
thumbtacks and boards.
Oh my gosh!
Chairs.
Let's see here if I can bring you a little crud. Let me get off of that. I'm trying to show you this thing here. Oh, there we go. There it is. Let me get back there and I'll fix it up for us. Okay, there we go.
So that, and like where you're looking right there, if you're in the ring, you're looking inside the brewery.
Yes.
And like all the tacks and chairs, and it was amazing.
Oops.
And very cool venue. That was like a closet door or something.
I think it was, or table. So just a chunk of. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was fantastic, and they said that there were 800 people there, which we were talking earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't estimate for crap anymore.
No, I would have been like, yeah, there's like 100, 200 people there.
I was low also, although I would have been higher than you. So maybe I'm not off as bad as I want. But then yeah, also we had this match, as you mentioned, with the secret surprise performance by none other than Joey Ryan. And where's that? There we go. Let me pop that up there, because this is a cool sequence too.
Yeah, the only complaint I had out of this whole match was we never got the dick spot.
Yeah.
Which, I get it, because Penelope ends up going over. But I've never seen Joey Ryan in person. That was the first time, so it would have been cool to see it. Even if you would have, but Penelope was amazing in the ring as well.
Oh, my God, yeah.
That awesome stunner. Yeah, and the crowd was great, man.
Oh.
Like,
everybody
really was.
Everybody was gigantically into the whole thing. And there he is. Yeah, you know what they say. Nobody kicks out of the dick flip.
Nobody.
Nobody. Never.
Best friends were there too. Chucky Taylor, Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
Because that's what Chucky's T always says. What is his move that he does? I can't remember it off the top, but every time he does it, nobody kicks out of it. But it was really cool to see those AEW guys. I don't know if you went up and met any of them, but I did have a chance to chat with Joey Ryan for a quick second.
Oh, cool.
He's old friends with Wes, so
nice.
Quick, just chatted about that. Also got to talk to Penelope for a second. Very nice. And then Jimmy Havoc was awesome. Bought a shirt off of him. And that was about it. We did get to see Gangrel on the way out. I had a quick interaction with him just because, again, he's another guy who's an old friend of Wes. But he was also enjoying his time at the bar, kind of just hanging out. So didn't really want to bother him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. So I had to have a little rest. Because standing that long is not it's not good for my legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old. But so I went inside got another beer, and sat down at one of the tables. And so I'm kind of watching, and it was Joey and Penelope, and I'm watching from the back because you can still see, everything, as long as it wasn't anything that was on the mat. It was hard to see, but anything that was upright was okay, and there really wasn't that much on the mat. But I'm sitting there, and I hear somebody tell a kid, "Oh, make a muscle," and I look over, and it's Eric Cannon, who was taking a picture with a kid inside, just right next to me. So I said hello to him, and very cordial. He's still holding a towel on his head, trying to get the blood to stop. So that was very, very interesting. And he seems like a very, very nice guy, very cordial. I use all these big flowery words. You have a little funny story about your interaction with Penelope Ford, don't you?
It was I just felt like an ass because I didn't have enough money to buy anything from her. It was an expensive weekend. So Sunday was exhausting, but I was coming off a Saturday as well, which was a very long, exhausting day as well for me. There's a local store in town, toy store, Nerding Out, had their big Nerding Out convention. And it's a 2-day convention, comic books, toys, memorabilia, wrestling stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. So my friends own the store. So, definitely want to support and help their business. So I made sure I was at the convention, bought a ticket, hung out. I had a blast last year. So I was like, yeah, I'll be there this year. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was there. I actually didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I never actually had a chance to meet him. Whoops. Jake the Snake Roberts was there, which not only did I meet, I actually got to kind of work with that ending up later that night. So
yeah, you ended up running sound for him, right?
Yeah, because he did his comedy show that night at the arena that the convention was in, and they didn't really have that great of a PA to have him do the show on. So they knew I had one. I brought it down there and got him all set up. So it was kind of cool to have a couple minutes to chat with him. I didn't really ask him much, but he did tell me some stuff about like the AEW commercials and like,
oh yeah,
man, I make more money doing that thing than I ever did when I was actually in the ring, and it takes me 10 minutes to do those stupid commercials, man. I'll tell you what, he's like, this thing's great, but he was awesome, and he was like, yeah, there's tons of fun, and he was, talking about other things going on, and what's cool is he was talking about going back to Atlanta after this, and I was like, you're still living there? And he said, he's like, man, I ain't driven a car in 10 years. He's like, that's how unsure I am still. I have to stay in Atlanta. I need that support system. So,
good for him.
Still very much a battle for that, man. But I told him, I'm like, well, you're an inspiration, dude, because you still look where you are now. Here you are. And he's a very, very nice man. A funny show, too. Funny show. So, yeah, that was super exhausting. And I have an addiction to Pop Funko or the Funko Pop vinyl.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, I have a really big addiction to the wrestling ones and certain shows and movies.
All right.
So I spent probably way too much money on those at the convention because there was a bunch of vendors that had them, and I also ended up finding. This is how much of a nerd I am, everybody. You're gonna hear it first here. I ended up purchasing 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're WWE editions. So Michelangelo is Roddy Piper.
You have him handy?
I can grab one real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, because I really, really want to see this.
I'll grab the Piper one.
You go grab the Roddy Piper one. And in the meantime, I'll take up this big space with my fat head. Yeah, it's amazing how much you can spend to try to support your favorite wrestlers. But as a performer myself, the reality is that they really, really can use that support because in a lot of cases, they're really, if they sell 5 T-shirts, it's not all goes in their pocket. If you spend $20 on a T-shirt or $25 on a T-shirt, they maybe make 5. So that's kind of a thing to remember when you're supporting your favorite wrestler, comedian, whoever it may be, band. It supports them because it's advertising as you wear it out and about. And then they make a little bit of profit on it because there's a pretty good expense to making T-shirts.
Yeah, that's right. So make sure you buy them when we make them.
Yeah, you can buy ours now. By the way, I finally did. I did iron out our problem with Spreadshirt.
Nice.
And so you can, if you want to get a T-shirt, or there's any number of things you can get that we've put up there with our logo that's that you see up there in the top right hand of your screen. But you can also customize it and put it on whatever you want that they have in their shop. But the prices are really fairly reasonable. I ordered one, and they have occasionally they'll have a code where you can get 15% off or something, and it's 50% might be a couple of bucks, $3, so that'll pay for your shipping in essence. But I'll put the link in this and all of our other videos so you can take a peek at the shop, and it's, it looks like it's pretty reasonable stuff. Like I said, I ordered a shirt to see what they look like. We do not have enough traffic at this point that we can buy and warehouse shirts ourselves, so we got to use a drop shipper. When I'm out on the road doing comedy, I'll have a supply so I can bring them with me. But in this instance, I got no place to keep them. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
And plus, it's just one of those things. We're not doing a lot to where we're at places that we need to sell them yet. So you can just go on there. It's about to be sweatshirt weather, so I'm about to get me a nice hoodie with that logo on it,
dude. And the hoodies look good.
Yeah, man. And also, so being a part of that nerding out and helping out with those guys and a cool, just a cool convention. After doing some talking with my friends who are the guys that run that, about 95% sure that next year I'll have a booth out there.
Awesome.
And we'll have all my shows there.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Well, at least 2 for sure. The 2 local ones. So, of course, Mr. Mass Comedian X will be coming down to the convention then, as well as my good friend Noah, who you met. He was with us at F1rst Wrestling from the Mega Power Hour. And if I can work it out and we can make things happen, maybe even Wes will come to town for it next year.
Wow, that'd be something.
And I'll have all 3 shows there, and we might even try to do some live stuff while we're at the convention.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we iron that out, I got a different camera setup that we can do exactly the same thing, but with one camera.
Very cool. Yeah, man. Like I said, we're going to do some stuff down there. So
we're going to start monkeying around. We're going to get this thing up and running and smoking like crazy. Okay. Show me your Piper turtle.
Right. Yeah. And just so you know, too, real quick, that they did officially announce this week that they are doing a 3rd convention. So as soon as the dates come out, I'll let you know, because again, this is going to be a pretty definite thing that I'm doing.
Yeah. Awesome.
And that we'll be doing. So yes, I have no reason to need these to clear this up right now, because I'm not a big figure guy. I'm not Zack Ryder. I'm not buying thousands of dollars worth of figures. I don't have a toy room that you can't walk in. Certain things they'll get me. And again, the Funko Pops for WWE and just any wrestling, I'm all about. LGN figures, the old school ones, you know what I'm talking about.
The
8-inchers.
Yep.
I'm on that kick right now. I want to get that collection together, like good ones, not the ones that are missing paint and everything.
And not the ones that my kid chewed the heads off of?
Nope. And then, and then I saw these and just figured, I need them. So here we go. This is from the cartoon Nickelodeon version of the Ninja Turtles. But
okay.
So here we go. Here's your Roddy Piper.
Oh my gosh.
Michelangelo.
Hold on a minute here. Let me zoom in on you. Oops.
Whoa.
Hold on. That's me. There we
go. So a little glare there, but there it comes with the microphone, his bagpipes, his little thing for his
that is sweet though. The sweet part is you're never going to open that.
Oh, I don't.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You're never going to open that, and the sweet part is that Roddy's right down there in the corner. Right down in the corner of the package.
Mm-hmm. And I brought the Warrior one just to show that off as well. So
yeah, I don't like that one as much.
And it also, the other 2 in here, if you look at the back, you can see the other ones. And I do have them, Finn Balor and The Rock.
Finn Balor?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, those ones are in the bedroom still. But yeah, so I bought all 4 of them. They were $25 each, and I was like, if I buy all 4, do I get a discount? And the guy's like, yeah, I'll take like $20 off. So I bought them. Didn't need them. Impulse buy.
Yeah, but still,
They're awesome.
you're gonna. I mean,
The
yeah.
problem though is this is series 2.
Oh.
And I saw they did have someone else at a booth had the Undertaker turtle from series 1. But I was just like, I can't justify how much money I've spent today on toys.
Well, the
So
hunt.
I had to walk away.
The hunt continues.
Had to walk away. But yeah, these are cool. The other one that I want to find, again, I'm not a big toy collector, but I like crossover stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a big fan of WWE and toys, you would have known that the Comic-Con special limited edition they released this year was a WWE Ghostbusters crossover.
Oh, wow.
Where 4 wrestlers are the Ghostbusters, and then Undertaker's basically like Slimer.
Oh, wow.
But he looks like the Undertaker and like a ghost.
Yeah.
So
that was
awesome. That was a Comic-Con special. So maybe I'll find that someday too. But
oh my gosh,
someday I'll do a little toy tour of what I have just to put.
Dude, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think for next week, one of the things that I'm going to do is we will have. I'll see if I can come up with a little thing for our Pop of the Week, Drop of the Week segment.
I like it.
Pop of the Week, Drop of the Week.
There we go. Goldberg was the drop.
Goldberg was the dropper, and Sasha was the popper.
Yeah. Or Joey Ryan if you're at F1rst Wrestling now.
Well, if you were at F1rst Wrestling, I mean, so like my top, it's a toss-up between them. My top 2 would be Sasha and F1rst Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha coming back is huge, and I'm very happy with that. The F1rst Wrestling, holy cow, just so good and so much fun to be at, and really more of an experience than in kind of community than just watching the show.
Right. And if you're me, the other reason there is a pop this week is if you watch the latest episode of Being the Elite, Freshly Squeezed is coming to AEW.
You know, we didn't even talk about this yet, and I didn't even get a picture, although he's on our thumbnail. The reason I didn't get a picture of him, Ace, is because I really just didn't want to put that much effort into it.
Hey, it's all right. Orange Cassidy signed with AEW. That makes me a very happy man, and I'm hoping to God he gets announced for the cruise.
Dude, that would be awesome. I like his shtick. What he does takes a lot of talent, because in order to pull that, a lot of that stuff I could do, but a lot of that stuff there's no way in God's green earth I could do.
Yeah.
And so to that end, I have full respect for him. But I wonder if when they talk about with AEW that wins and losses will matter, how long he can keep up that gimmick.
I mean, the thing with him on the indie scene is he was a champ. He was winning more than he was losing on the indies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think as long as the crowd, once they start seeing him on TV, react like the crowds that see him at these indie shows, I think he'll be just fine. Because that's the other thing too, that, yeah, he has that lazy gimmick and stuff, but like once you get to the midpoint of the match, that's when it starts becoming like, oh, wait, no, he actually can wrestle.
Yeah.
And he'll finish strong. So it's, I don't know. I hope he doesn't just become that gimmicky, like comedic point of them, kind of like a Michael Nakazawa, which I don't know if he will either. I mean, I know they, on his like BET mailbag, they asked him about a championship, and he was like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever have a championship with AEW, but it maybe something like the Hardcore, if they did something like that. But it's like, okay, but if they can still wrestle and work and get the crowd on their side, it shouldn't matter if they're comedic. I think that they should still have a chance to be in the top spot. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see that he got signed. I'm pumped to see what they're going to do with him. And yeah, man, it's going to be great.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that it is the middle of October now. And in less than 6 weeks, I think. AEW will premiere on TNT.
October 2nd is going down.
That's going to be just amazing. And we might have to start thinking about doing a show on Thursday.
Oh.
No. No.
No, because I like that we can talk forward now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
When we do our show, we'll be able to talk about what do we think is going to happen tomorrow night on AEW.
Absolutely. I like a little predicting. I like a little recapping. And I'll tell you what, I like to have more opportunity to promote the local stuff here that F1rst Wrestling's doing. Because I honestly, when I was in radio up in Fargo, and first got hooked up with WCW up there promoting shows when they came to town, and that was kind of fun. They were always very good to me, gave me stuff if there were shows in Minneapolis. And then when I came to Rochester, they were still going, not nearly as good as they had been, but then it also became that competition, and I got hooked up with WWE a little bit, and boy, got a whole lot of stuff. That SummerSlam show up here in Minneapolis in '99, I had really good seats, surprisingly. But
I didn't. I was in the upper deck.
yeah.
But I was a little kid. I was just pumped to be there. I was like a freshman.
Oh yeah. But I got to tell you, this is one of the funniest stories about being in radio and getting hooked up with those guys. WCW had a house show over in Mankato at the Midwest Wireless Center that they were recording for their Saturday night show, or whatever show the hell it was at the time that was not live. And so I and three other guys, this is before our companies merged, but I and a salesman and a sales manager, and you remember Turner. Yeah, and Turner, because Turner was a big wrestling fan too. We all hot-footed it into the car and proceeded to head out to the Mankato Midwest Wireless Center. And if I'm honest, we stopped at Byron and started drinking like a lot. And so they were pretty lit. I wasn't, because I was driving, but they were pretty lit by the time we got there. We went into a bar, and they just got blasted. And I was okay, but I wasn't like them. So we go in and we sit down, and the Midwest Wireless Center, I don't know if you've ever been in there. It's not very big. Maybe holds 5,000 people. And we were in a spot, and like, I'm loud. You know how loud I am. People could hear me if I was yelling stuff out. And the other guy sitting next to me was a sales manager, and he's just lit. And he's sitting there with his arms folded, leaning back in his chair. And it's La Parka, if you remember him. I don't remember who he was, maybe Psychosis. I don't remember. But they're fighting. And all of a sudden, it's just quiet. And all of a sudden, this guy's sitting here with his arms folded, and he yells out, "Give him the fucking pile driver." Everybody turns and looks at him. He doesn't move a muscle, looks over at me and goes, "This lady thinks I know a lot about wrestling." It was one of the funniest things I ever experienced at a wrestling show.
That's awesome.
And of course, that's the main thing that I remember about that show. And it wasn't even the wrestling.
Right.
But that's how it happens sometimes.
Right.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have to be embarrassed. I've only got a few more years before I retire, So we'll have to find a way to embarrass me at some event. I was almost embarrassed by man. If we'd have gone in together, I bet you'd have talked me into having this mask on.
Yeah, I know. Man, again.
And here's the thing. I'm nervous about going anywhere with this mask on. Simply because, and I probably would have been okay there, but simply because I have a feeling sometimes that people are going to go, what the fuck is this? Or what's this guy trying to pull? Or we better get security, because I'm just nervous, you know?
You just got to keep a card in your pocket or have our shirt on while you're doing it. And then they're like, what are you doing, sir? And be like, no. Hey, look, it's me.
Well, that's the thing. Once I get the shirt,
deal. Or just be like, I'm a wrestler. God damn it.
Well, that's the last thing I want. I don't want to be wearing this mask around and having the real wrestlers go, what the fuck are you doing? And then punch me. Because, I 30 years ago, I could have probably taken a bump. But today, I'm afraid I might break a hip.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Just how it goes. Anyway, so can you think of anything else that we should talk about before we hit the road?
I think we got it all, man. That was, again, it was just a great weekend of wrestling. It was for us.
It was a lot of fun. We want to remind you folks that you can subscribe to us. That helps us. Please subscribe. That way you won't miss anything that we do outside of this. And we're going to try to pop up some more content that isn't this live show necessarily. You can support us on Patreon. We got a couple of levels there. And we'd like to maybe, have some people interact with us. We'll figure out a way to do that. We'll have some more guests. If you have ideas for guests, please give us an email. Get a hold of us. Let us know. We'd love to have guests on here and talk to them about cool stuff that we think is cool. And last but not least, you can check out our t-shirt shop, clothing shop, if you will. And I'll put the link in that down in the description here below.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Big Ace, it was a lot of fun again.
Yes, sir.
Great weekend, as you mentioned. I look forward to talking with you again next week.
We will do it.
All righty, everybody. For Big Ace, this is Mass Comedian X signing off.